Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene is also joining us this evening. And Congresswoman, I wanted to get you to comment on one of the points that I was just making with our previous panel. It seems there are more FD-1023s, these unclassified documents detailing multiple investigations of influence peddling, criminal influence peddling by the Biden family and Joe Biden himself that were revealed to James Comer and his staff today. Is it a coincidence, do you think, that on a day when the FBI finally comes clean about what they've got on Joe Biden, that all of a sudden we have an indictment of President Trump?
No, I don't think there's any coincidence. And I can tell you, Chris, you're absolutely right. I actually read the FD-1023 form today in the SCIF. And it's ironic it was in the SCIF because this 1023 form is unclassified. So I believe all the American people should be able to see it. But on the 1023 form that lays out in perfect detail and description from the FBI's top paid informant that they say is very credible, one of their most credible informants, it lays out all the truth that we knew all along, that you've reported on and many others, that Joe Biden was involved in pay-to-play schemes in Ukraine involving Burisma. And it says in very clear detail that Joe Biden was paid $5 million and Hunter Biden was paid $5 million to get the work done, to get Victor Shokin, the prosecutor, fired and stop him from investigating Burisma. Hunter was on the board for Burisma, and he wanted to have Burisma buy a U.S. oil and gas company. And he says that he was working that deal. Now, the redacted person that's quoted on the form by the informant said that Hunter Biden was stupid. So they didn't think very highly of them. But they were involved and used to having to pay bribes because that's common in Ukraine and Russia in business. And they were willing to pay a bribe to the vice president of the United States in order to get Victor Shokin fired. But the form references 2 more 1023 forms. So we know there are at least 2 more.
Well, it may be common to bribe officials in Ukraine and Russia, but it's also common here in the United States. I mean, Joe Biden, while he was in the Senate, this was the worst kept secret in the United States. He was known as Quid Pro Joe by his fellow Democrats and also Republicans who called Joe Biden their friend. Tell me, Congresswoman, why do you think so many on both sides of the political aisle have been so committed to covering for this man all this time?
Well, I just can't understand it, but I will tell you I was shocked at the SARS reports that we read in the Treasury Department that we've been reading over the past couple of months, over 2,000 pages of them. And the way that these schemes are laid out, it appears that this is possibly something that maybe many other politicians or high-ranking officials in our government may be doing, selling out the United States and our national security in exchange for payments. What they're doing is they get payments, wire transfers from foreign countries into LLCs, which are fake shell accounts. The money goes in the fake shell accounts, and then the money is paid out to multiple Biden family members. We've read that in the SARS reports, and then we subpoenaed bank records. The Oversight Committee staff and all the members have done an incredible job in this investigation, and we've done it in less than 6 months. It was also interesting that on the 1023 form I read today, that the person, the redacted name, but it was really the oligarch that owned Burisma. You could tell that from reading the form. He said that we wouldn't be able, it would take us 10 years to uncover and investigate all of the Biden bank statements and their bank accounts and wire transfers. But we've gotten this far in only 6 months while the FBI did nothing.
Good grief. And you know what, Congresswoman, with all the money that seems to be coming in to Joe Biden, maybe to the FBI, to the DOJ, all this money coming in from foreign sources into the United States, I mean, what do they need the taxpayers' money for? I'm asking that. You know, maybe in the next debt deal discussions, we can have a conversation about how much money we're dedicating to these agencies that, in my opinion, have betrayed us all. Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene, thank you very much. Appreciate your time tonight and this historic evening.